Welcome, everybody, to the Superhumanistic podcast, where we talk about all things health, wellness, and longevity. Thank you for joining us today. We are your hosts. I'm David.
I'm Jessica.
Make sure that you hit that follow button on this podcast so you never miss another episode. We put out one episode a week on Saturdays. Also, we would have greatly appreciate it if you left us a positive rating and review. That will also help others find this podcast so you can then help others on their health and wellness journey. And if you ever found value in this podcast, please share it with someone that you love so that you can help them live a longer, healthier, happier life. Last week, we talked about rest days. Those are those days in between the heavy workouts so that your muscles can repair from all the micro tears to the muscle fibers that were done in that gym. If you want to learn more about the value of rest days and how to stay active during rest days, go back and listen to last week's episode. This week, we're going to be talking about organization as medicine.
Yeah, it's really a tool for longevity that isn't a supplement. Or a workout, really, or a cold plunge that we've talked about in the past. It's something much more fundamental to our daily environment, and that is organization.
Yeah, it sounds a bit type A, doesn't it? But the data is clear. Disorganization isn't just a messy desk. It's a psychological stressor. So recent studies, even as closely as 2026, have shown that household chaos, clutter, poor routines, and sensory overload actually spike the salivary alpha amylase. I know I'm going to butcher that. It's a key biomarker for your sympathetic nervous system's fight or flight response. We're actually working on cleaning out our closets right now and getting rid of some of the clutter in there. So we're actually partaking in this as we speak.
Yeah, and I can feel a difference even in my anxiety already with some of the work that we're doing. So when our environments are cluttered, our brain then is consistently or constantly processing that visual reminders of work that's not complete. Women especially, research has shown a direct correlation between high home clutter scores and unhealthy cortisol patterns throughout the day. So if your cortisol doesn't drop in the evening because you're surrounded by a messy house or just mess in general, it could be our thoughts as well of maybe things that we didn't complete throughout the day, then we're not giving our bodies that time to recover. You're actually aging yourself faster.
All right, guys, so how do we fix the architecture of our lives? Let's dive into the superhumanistic approach here to organizing your home and your time as well. So, part one, we're going to jump into the high-performance home.
So first, we have to stop treating organization as a spring cleaning event. It's really about systems, and one of the biggest trends that we are finding is that wellness-inspired organization. So this means creating restoration zones within your home.
It's a great concept. Your bedroom and your entryway should be catch-alls. So shouldn't be catch-alls, actually. Basically, what you want to do there is that's your transition point. That's how you get into your home, and that's when you're first coming home from work. So if the first thing you see when you walk in from work is a pile of mail or your shoes all over the ground there, your brain's just going to stay in that task mode that you were in all day from work anyway.
Exactly. So you didn't complete tasks at work, so now I get home and there's even more tasks to do. So my cortisol levels aren't getting that restorative time. So here's some tips. The 1 in 1 out rule. So in 2026, we're seeing a shift towards essentialism. So for every new item that enters your home, one must leave. It prevents that clutter creep that we get, especially when, say tax season has come, you got a little money back, so I'm going to go buy some clothes or some new shoes. But then I don't get rid of some shoes. So now where do I put all of this? That's when we get the clutter. You're also going to create micro zones. So assign a specific home for high frequency items like your keys, your wallet and chargers. And if it doesn't have a home, that's when it becomes the clutter. We have actually gotten like a mail holder because we were noticing that our mail was building up on the counter and that was becoming clutter. So just something simple that goes on the wall to hold your mail or to hold those things helps to make the space decluttered. And then visual quiet. So you have some closed storage for tech and cables, so reducing that visual noise that comes with all of the wires hanging about. This lowers that cognitive load on our prefrontal cortex.
Yeah, I've heard some high performer mentors in the past say, if I buy one new pair of shoes, I must throw out an old pair of shoes. So there's definitely something to that tip there.
Yeah.
Next, part 2, we'll jump into the master schedule. So now let's talk about the clock. We're seeing really record high levels of burnout this year, and in years past, over 66% of employees in a lot of studies report feeling that burnout. A lot of it comes from time blindness and really just being reactive to your scheduling.
Yeah, so in order to live longer, we need to protect that cognitive calories, as we call it. You shouldn't be deciding what to do at 9 o'clock a.m. because you should already know what you're going to be doing, right? Or already be doing it. So different scheduling tactics that we can do.
All right, let's continue on with those scheduling tactics. The next, I'll talk about something called time boxing. So instead of a giant to-do list, give every task a box on your calendar. If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. I do this at work. Essentially, I go into a meeting, I'll take notes. From there, I'll see what actions I can take, and I'll create a time block on my calendar to get that task done. If it doesn't go on the calendar, then it just gets wiped off the list, and I move on with my life. So next, we'll get into the daily anchor. So pick one non-negotiable, like a 10-minute walk or 5 minutes of box breathing. Box breathing is a breathing technique that we break down in a previous episode. And anchor it to a habit you already have, like brewing coffee. I know that's one of our habits every morning, is certainly brewing coffee. Next, we'll jump into the power of no. So longevity is about saying no to the non-essentials in life. In 2026 especially, protecting your peace is the ultimate productivity hack.
Yeah, so part 3 is declutter list. So before we go, let's do a quick fire round. Here are 3 things that you can declutter starting today. Immediately, and we can immediately lower our stress from these. So we're going to start with that digital noise. So unsubscribe from 5 promotional emails today. Every notification is a tiny hit of cortisol that we just don't need. And then the lidless graveyard. So go to your kitchen. If a container doesn't have a matching lid, we're going to recycle it. The frustration of searching for that lid actually costs you more mental energy than what that container is worth. So that would be like the 1-in-1 rule. Throw the container away, recycle it, and then just go get a different container where it has a lid already there. And then your expired biohacks. So check your supplements and that skincare. If it is past its date, then it's not really helping our longevity. So we're just taking up space with it. Time to also throw that away.
All right, sounds good on that. Remember, guys, organization isn't about being perfect. It's about removing the friction between you and the life that you want to lead.
Yeah, so create a space for what actually matters to you, and we'll see you next week.
Stay superhumanistic.
Bye.